in terms of what Nissan has chosen, in terms of what the attributes of the X-Trail are today, that I don't know who it's going to talk to. If it were, we were talking about the first gen X-Trail, and it was expensive, okay, no problem. It was diesel, it had its quirky bits, but people who bought them,
Yeah, they were super kicked with them. Yeah, absolutely.
I don't see that happening with this.
Yeah, it was true for that other car also. What was the GM Forester? The Subaru Forester, which was renamed here
correct.
as Chevrolet
Chevrolet.
Forester. People who drove Foresters loved their Foresters.
Correct.
But at the time, selling a petrol SUV was just like the wrong thing to do, and the Forester sales were terrible. But everybody who owned a Forester, and we were lucky to know 2 or 3 people who were parking their cars in the areas that we were. So we would meet them infrequently. We didn't know them. But there were 3 Foresters where we would normally go. So I think, imagine that you go to a restaurant regularly and there was somebody who came to that building in a Forester. So you would run into this person repeatedly, right? They were super kicked with their Forester. Say, what a great car, how easy to drive, etc., etc. But in that context box, petrol, SUV, game over.
I was just thinking the other day, there used to be somebody who used to come to the track who had an X-Trail for the longest time.
Yeah, you're right.
And I remember always, like, there's this moment stuck in my head that we were leaving the track, the car was ahead of me, and the way it drives, I still remember it from that. And I don't even remember who it was, but I remember the car, and he was just so happy with it. And he was coming from Bengaluru, I think, so he was driving up and down to the track in that car, and he said, no problem. When I need to go off the highway to avoid jams and all,
it's
all
easy.
that, I can manage.
Yeah, I remember the old X-Trail as being a compact, very easy to drive car that was luxurious for its time. So it was a cut above in terms of how the cabin flowed. It was a cut above in terms of how compact it felt when you drove it. And you could do this with it. You could go a little bit off-road, you could drive it down the road, and it never felt completely out of sorts. And which is what I have my memory of that X-Trail as. What you're telling me now is not matching.
So actually, when you draw a line from that X-Trail to this X-Trail, it's fairly linear. The problem is that the surroundings,
the context has changed completely.
has changed.
Yeah, of course.
So this car, like I said at the start, is a sensible car for another market. When it comes to our country, at these prices, it's not meant to be sensible anymore. It's meant to be aspirational. It's meant to be a little bit out there in terms of what it's bringing to you as technology and as a driving experience, which this isn't.
It's supposed to blaze a trail for the Nissan brand, but it is the X-Trail.
X factor nahi hai.
Great. Should I do a quick summary now? Are you done? Because it sounds like you're done.
And yeah, it doesn't have a spare wheel. Fine. In terms of luggage space, if you're using all 3 rows, then there's very little. There's enough for overnighter and 1 soft bag, that kind of stuff. And when you fold the 3rd row down, it's better, but it's still not fantastic. I think
because it's not a very large car.
Yeah, for this size of car, it's not that impressive. In the cabin, anything else that I would like to point your attention towards? No, that's okay. We are pretty much
Safety?
Safety, this is a Euro NCAP 5-star car. So 7 airbags and...
so in B NCAP, it will get 92 stars. You'll be happy, right?
So it's that way. I mean, like from platform I mean, see, when it drives also, you feel that sense of confidence. So that in the star rating that it shows, I'm not surprised. It's Euro NCAP 5 as far as I remember. And this is got 7 airbags for India. So yeah, that's basically it.
1 airbag per person in the car, no?
Yeah. Divide it up that way.
Pour your heart out. You have 60 seconds. Too little? Try 120. No, too little? Okay, 3 minutes. Yeah, we can't do it either. That's why we have the main MotorInc channel. And this is a clip from a much longer video that discusses this idea in much, much more detail. This vehicle in great detail. If you'd like to see that, you'll have to head there.